Hey, did you ever want a prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? No? You say that's a stupid idea because the character of Leatherface is iconic because of how simple and one-dimensional he is, being more like a creature rather than a human being, and giving backstory and dimension to him would actually take a lot away from the scare factor of that film? Well, shut your pie hole, because it's here anyways! Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
Welcome to part 2 of the Gauntlet of Garbage 2017 edition. Yes, at the beginning of every single new year, we look back at all the films that people called the worst of the previous year, and we watch them back to back to back to back, just to kind of cleanse our palate, and just kind of give us an idea of what the true bottom of the barrel was from the previous year. And we're talking about the prequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, not that one. The other prequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's called Leatherface. No, not that one. It's another Texas Chainsaw Massacre film called Leatherface. Nothing says how unoriginal this film is other than the fact that it's the second prequel to this franchise and the second one to be called Leatherface. So it might be kind of hard for you to search this film up. But
Look for Leatherface 2017.
Or just, why was this movie made? No,
yes.
I think the other Leatherface. Actually, God, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is the one I have the hardest time keeping track of, which is a shame because I love the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know if I ever told this story, but first time I ever saw a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was in college for a film class of mine. First time I'd ever seen it. And I watched it and went, you know, that was pretty creepy, but I don't know if it's gonna be that effective on me. But I liked it. And then as I was leaving the class, I was walking to the parking lot, and it was at sunset. And the movie ends at sunrise. Everything has that like golden orange tone to it. Sunset, same thing, everything had that golden orange tone to it. And then someone behind me revved up a motorcycle, and I lost my shit. I jumped and spun around and was like, because the final scene in the movie is the girl, after she escapes, she hops into a truck and just starts driving off as Leatherface is chasing her with that golden sunlight, and he has got the chainsaw and just, and I was just walking and then just, it's the only time that's ever happened to me. So I was like, okay, I love this film. This film is actually really darn good.
Like, if that had not happened, would you still have liked it as much?
Oh, probably no. I needed that like thing to make me realize, no, you like this film. You're bullshitting yourself if you did not think this film worked on you. Yeah. So, yeah, I like the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but one of the reasons why it's so effective is because, like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. There's just these weird-ass hillbillies living in this, like, house out in the middle of nowhere, and these kids just stumble upon them. There's nothing to it.
Also, you kind of grew up in the sticks, so it's like, yeah, you can kind of,
I've said this multiple times. Anything that takes place in the woods or way the fudge out in a place where you can't call for help has a personal spot in my scary heart, because I grew up living that crap. I grew up in a house that was about 3 miles from the nearest anything else, all in the deep dark wood. Like, you had to get off the main road, which was 2 miles of driving on the main road with nothing around, then get on a dirt road and drive down that dirt road with nothing else there on the dirt road for a mile before you hit my house. And my biggest fear was some crap was gonna go down one night and nothing would happen, nobody would come to save me. And then like my dad eventually moved out of that house, but like I had no job or anything, and we still owned the house, so I was just living in that house. And eventually I was finally able to move out of there. Like the month after I moved out of there, my dad called me up and was just like, so the house got broken into, and we think it's these two guys who murdered someone on the other side of the river last week. I was like, well, fuck. It's one of those rare times in which I'm like, if I had, like, that is literally where, like, the two paths diverged, and this path ended there. Thank God I didn't take that path. So yeah, anything like that kind of, like, has a personal spot in my heart. But at the same time, even though I love the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I would be willing to argue, out of all the horror movie franchises out there, Texas Chainsaw has the worst track record. Because like Friday the 13th, I didn't actually like the first Friday the 13th, but like after that, it's like, yeah, it's a roller coaster, it goes up and down. Nightmare on Elm Street, I thought the first one was kind of interesting, and then after that it's a roller coaster. They go up and down. The Alien franchise, you know, 2 very high up, and then like, what the fuck are you doing after that? You know, Hellraiser, that one is a total, like, all over the place. Like, love it, hate it, love it, hate it, love it, hate it. Texas Chainsaw, great. Garbage, 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 garbage. The second one has a weird, fascinating sense of garbage to it, more like a, what are you doing here? Like, if you told me you like that one, I can accept it. Because it has like a weird grindhouse tone to it, but not really a horror tone to it. It's like some odd, like, you don't know if it's supposed to be a comedy or not kind of a thing, and that actually makes it interesting, but I can't argue it's good. But everything after that has been horrible and like worse than any of the other like horror movie franchises out there.
You bring up a really good point. Like whenever like people think of like horror franchises and like famous like slashes, they think, oh Freddy, oh Jason, oh Michael Myers. Like no one ever really think like. I mean I know people do know about Leatherface, but he's not like in the top.
Here's the thing. People think of Freddy Krueger. They think of like. This film, this film, this film. They think of Jason. They don't even think of Jason until the 3rd movie in that franchise. Like, nobody thinks of Jason with the big bag on his head from part 2. Nobody thinks of, like, his mom from part 1. They all start thinking about him at part 3 and then part 4. And he dies in part 4. And they're like, let's bring him back. And then he comes back as a zombie. And that's how people think of him after that. It's like, yeah, Jason stuck around. Jason had some legs. Leatherface, people love Leatherface in the first one. Nobody gives a crap about him after that because they have sucked ass so hard. And this film, it's definitely the worst of them I've seen. I didn't see that other prequel they did a couple of years ago. I didn't see the 3D one that they did, which people say are worse than this one, but this is easily the worst one I've seen of them. No, it's bad, and it's also probably the worst origin to a villain I've seen. Like, Jason, we got the origin right away. Bing, bang, boom, done. Freddy Krueger got the origin right away. Bing, bang, boom, done. Not a lot of horror movie monsters have, like, mystery to their background.
Yeah.
Hellraiser had a mystery, and I know people hated the Hellraiser origin. I actually kind of like it. I was actually kind of intrigued by that origin. So, but I'll admit, I'm in the minority on that one.
And then there are some people who are like, you know, they're a lot scary if you don't know the origin.
I always said that about the aliens, and that's why one of the many reasons why Alien Covenant pissed me the fudge off. I think it's an okay film, but I was like, this is their origin? This sucks. This is stupid. I did not like the origin they gave to aliens. It was better than this. Yeah, this is horrible.
Yeah, and it's the same reason why not everyone liked the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween.
Yeah, that was weird, but I could understand what he was going for. That's like, because the original Halloween, I mean, if you've never seen it, you think in your mind it's about Michael Myers. No, it's not. Michael Myers, there's nothing to him in that. But that's the point, is that he is totally a freaking mystery. But I would go beyond the Rob Zombie one. I would go with, like, I think it was part 6, where they're like, oh, he's part of the Child of Thorns cult, in which he is the chosen one, and he is unstoppable because of that, but the only thing that can slow him down are precious runes, and now he is the chosen one, and you must watch over him, and he will not stop until this, and it's like, who the fuck asked for this origin story? Hasn't this dude died like 9 times and you keep bringing him back? It's like, no, this time we're gonna get it right. You're never getting it right. They're making another one of these things, which means that they're going to officially now be more Halloween timelines than the Legend of Zelda games. Because, yeah, they eventually said, okay, all that stuff after a certain point, like all the stuff after like part 4 didn't happen. We're bringing him back for H2O, and that one, she kills him. God, I forgot the girl's, wow, how did I forget her name? But the girl from that one, she kills her. Wow, I can't even remember the actress's name. Jamie Lee Curtis. Jesus Christ. Jamie Lee Curtis finally kills him. And then they came back for that next Halloween one, whatever was after that, with Busta Rhymes. And that opens with, nope, he's still alive, and he kills Jamie Lee Curtis. Now they're gonna come back and do another Halloween film, and Jamie Lee Curtis is alive, so I was like, okay, the first one that leads to Child of Thorns, to the Thorn Cult, that went this way, then another one split off from there, and now you're taking one all the way back to the beginning in which there were no sequels to it, going straight up to this one. It's like, just end it already! No one is even asking for this shit anymore. Which brings us to this film. Mm-hmm. No one wanted the origin of Leatherface.
Nope.
No one. Leatherface is the one of the villains out there who didn't get an origin, and it works because of that. It's good that we don't get an origin, because the whole point of it is, we just showed up to this house, and there's some big motherfucker with like human flesh as a mask, and carrying a chainsaw, and he's eating people, and there's a weird like family there in this house, and they're just like chewing down on human body. What is this crap? And the other part of it is, there isn't really a need for an origin.
No, there isn't.
It's like, okay, there is a little bit of a mystery factor of why are you out here? Why are you doing this? But if you stop and think about it, it's like, oh, because they're crazy. And that's also part of the charm of it. Well, not charm, but also part of like what makes them so creepy. It's like, they don't need an origin behind their crazy. They're just crazy. And sometimes that happens. This comes in here, and this movie starts off with this, it's the cannibal family. Mm-hmm. And they've got some guy down, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna eat you, but we're gonna get our boy. I'm gonna get his name in here. The actor's name, by the way, is amazing. Sam Strike is the actor's name. Not him when he was a little kid, but like him when he grows up. Actor's name is Sam Strike. No way is that your real name. But he's playing Jackson. And Jackson is a little boy, and they're like, yeah, grab this chainsaw, Jackson. Now you kill him. You kill him, you chop him up good. He's like, I don't want to chop him up. And then like the parents are like, you get nothing more. Here, give me that chainsaw. And then they rub him into him. And there's another brother over there who's clearly mentally handicapped. Yeah. And he's a big chubby guy. Yeah. And he's like, yay, chop him up, yay. Mm-hmm. And then this cuts to a little bit later. This is in 1955. So unlike the previous prequel that they did, this one at least keeps up with the time period correctly. This at least realizes, oh yeah, if that first film took place in the 70s, this one has to take place in 1955. But this one, it then cuts to like a little bit later, and there's two kids on the side of the road, and they see Jackson out there with like a big cow head as a mask. Yeah. And they're like, what's wrong, boy? What?
No, it's like they thought he was like an animal because he was like on all fours and he had like a cow's head, like a cow skin on him. So like they were driving on the road and like they see this animal, they freak out, and then they realize it's a kid dressed up as an animal. So like the girl's like, what's wrong? And the guy is like, come on, let's just get out of here. And she was like, no, this little boy needs help.
Yeah, and she keeps going, hey little boy, hey, are you okay? You okay? And he's just standing there like the cow mask on. He's like, hey little boy, getting closer and closer. And like, I was like, you have got to be the dumbest. Like, I understand wanting to help a child. Yeah. I get that. But this kid is just like, what makes you think that this kid is like in need of help? He's out here in a fucking cow mask. Like, this is like, if that isn't setting off red flares in your mind, get the fudge out of there.
Like if that was me in that situation, I'd be like, stupid kid, get out of the road. Just like, it's like, get the fuck out of there. It's like, I don't want to deal with you or your stupid bullshit or whatever you're up to.
I was thinking how incredibly stupid this lady was for like wanting to go up there and like find out what was going on with this kid. But I will say, the other night I was waiting on my train at the subway, and some guy on the other side of the tracks was screaming out upstairs, and rather than walking away from it, I started walking in the direction like, let me check this out. What's going on? And that's when I realized, oh fuck, I'd be that idiot.
No, it's like,
I'd be that dumbass in the horror movie who dies instantly.
It's like curiosity versus instinct.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd like to think that even in that situation, like, he was on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, so at least
I like to think if he was on my side of the tracks, I would be like, nope, get the fuck out.
So you were a good distance away from us. So.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go uptown tonight for no reason in particular. Just screw it. But yeah, so she starts investigating. Then she starts following him as he leads her into a bar, and then she falls into this pit. And then like they end up like dropping a motor on her and like killing her.
An
engine, yeah. And then the cop shows up, and he's like, you killed my daughter, because it was his daughter. Mm-hmm. And he's going, you killed my daughter, I can't believe it. And you've been killing, we know there've been bodies like turned up dead here for years now. And the insane hillbilly guy's just like, did you see me do it? You ain't got nothing on me. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not how the cops work.
I mean, I understand, like, this is like a backwater like town and everything. So,
Speaking of someone who grew up in a backwards town, that does not add to the cop has no power situation.
No, I understand.
This being a backward town means the cop could have taken out his billy club and beaten him to a blood club, and everyone would have been like, I didn't see nothing. Nothing around here. No. I didn't see anything.
Yes.
That's how things worked in the town I grew up in. Why did you stop and get... Okay, never mind. You were just like, I'm going to have to ask you about that later. Mental check. Alright. Yeah. But it's like, the whole time I was like, you can bring him in for fucking questioning.
Yeah.
You can at least do that. And it's like, I know that if you don't charge them with anything, then you can't hold them.
Like,
but dude,
I mean, it's like, don't you think it's like way too like much?
There's ways around that shit. Like, there's one moment in here in which he's like, I know we can like investigate. We're gonna investigate, and he's like, you ain't got a warrant. And I was like, there are situations where they don't need a warrant, including if it is like immediate cause. Like, I can't remember the exact term for it, but it's like, if you think that time is of the essence and like things have to be done, you can do that. You could fucking do that in this situation easily. And it's like, people have been turning up dead on this farm for years.
It's like,
First one, okay, you can get off with it. You didn't see me do nothing. After the second one, you got probable cause to take that motherfucker in.
It's like this has been happening for years, and you still haven't done anything up until now, where they decided to take the kid away.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He goes, "Oh yeah, well, what I can do? You see your two boys? I got them in the backseat of that car. This is called child safety. I can take them away from you." And like, no, don't take my boy away from me. I was like, am I supposed to think the cop is the bad one because he's taking the kids away? Because no, fuck those parents. They're horrible. They're not even like bad parents. They are monsters.
They are cannibals.
Monsters.
Like
they're murderous cannibals.
Yeah.
Why do I have to defend the cop in this situation? But again, it was like, okay, so because of this, you can take the kids away, which that's something I feel like you have to go to judge about on that one, or at least get the Child Protective Services people in there on this, which they're not there on this one. However, in order to investigate a farm where multiple dead bodies have been found over the course of years, that you have no power on? Also, if this has been happening over the course of years, why have you never gone and gotten a warrant about this? Feels like that's something that should have come up at some point in time. I mean, seriously, after the second body gets found, I don't think there's a defense that you can come up with that keeps you from going to jail. It's insane how this ends up working out. But they take the two boys away and they drop them in a mental institution, and then it cuts to years later in which they're both like 18 now. And the Jackson, he's like skinny, good-looking dude. Apparently he's been doing CrossFit in the mental asylum. But the other one, he was the big guy who was kind of mentally handicapped. He's gotten even bigger, and he's still mentally handicaed.
It's like Buddy, I think was his name.
Buddy, I think.
Bud?
Bud was his name. I want to say. Look it up, Bud. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Bud's there, and he's got long, curly ass hair, and he's a really big dude, and he doesn't ever say anything. But Jackson's looking out for him. And on this day, a new nurse started working there. Mm-hmm. And it's her first day at the mental asylum. And then, this is the day that a breakout happens. And the breakout happens because the mom of the two sons, the like crazed cannibal lady, she shows up and she says, I've got my new lawyer, and that's not my last name anymore because I'm married into money now. I'm wealthy now. So I'm going to look after these kids. And the whole time I was like, how the fuck did you go from crazed, murderous cannibal to marrying into money? How on earth did your crazy ass get cleaned up enough to marry into money? To marry anyone other than another crazed cannibal dude? Which, that's a good question. Who met who in this scenario? Like, did you meet the crazed... was one of you not a crazed murderous cannibal, and then you met the other one and fell for him, and it was like, oh, well, I guess they're a crazed murderous cannibal. Well, you know what? I'll give it a try. Anything once. Or were you just two crazed murderous cannibals? Or are you like brother and sister and this is like some inbred stuff?
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the situation.
That's gotta be it, because there's only one parent there to both, and there's only one grandparent in the situation, so.
Unless she was just lying, but.
No, but that's the thing. She is lying about marrying into money. That's revealed later. It's like, no, she's still married to the same person. She's still crazed murderous cannibal lady. But then I was like, well, what the fuck? Where did you get a lawyer from then? Unless that lawyer was one of the other crazed murderous cannibal people in disguise, because there was a third crazed murderous cannibal person that gets introduced later. I was like, was that your lawyer? Just without the glasses and the suit on? I don't fucking know. Everybody looks like they were slathered in mud. You could all be the same person. I don't know what's going on in this. But they're at this mental asylum, and she goes, I'm gonna get those boys back, and she just goes running in there and just starts like breaking down doors, and like that's when everybody starts running, and so Jackson and Bud and the new nurse end up finding these two like psycho Bonnie and Clyde people.
I'd rather call them like Joker and Harley.
Like Rob Zombie's Joker and Harley.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are. Because they're this crazy woman and this crazy guy. And the guy kind of looks like a skinhead, but like a really tiny malnourished skinhead.
Yeah.
Because he got the shaved head, but it's like he looks like if he took his shirt off, you could play the xylophone on. It's just like he is thin, and she looks like your typical Hollywood actress type. It's like way too attractive for the character she's playing. Everybody else in here is really just beaten down and dirty. She is supposed to be a psycho nut job, and yet she looks like she just got out of a photo shoot. Like, come the fuck on with this shit. But they break out, and they have to tag along with. Which I should point out, Bud got taken in for electroshock therapy, and when the power goes out, he breaks out of it and murders the two guards that were holding him down, which, at this point, you're supposed to be thinking, okay, it's the origin of Leatherface. Leatherface was mentally ill, he was a big dude, that's clearly Leatherface. I mean, it's obvious, except the movie is following Jackson this whole time, which that's a problem that we'll get into later. But they end up pairing up with the Psycho with Rob Zombie's Harley and Joker, and they are just the most unlikable parts of this entire film.
Oh yeah.
And here's the thing. We've been watching this film, and I had heard how bad it was, but I was watching it going, this isn't that bad. I mean, it's definitely not good, but it's just bland and who gives a crap. Like, it's very much like, I don't even know what I'm going to say in this review that we do. I don't even know what we're going to talk about. Because I don't give a crap about anything. It's not making me upset, but nothing in here is like good. Nothing in here is good, but it's not really bad either. It's just kind of like, whatever. This is so bland and unworthy of discussing. Then when they come in, they are so incredibly shitty and such bad characters, badly written, badly everything, that this movie bobsled down. The rest of this film is horrible, and I'm kind of glad it was, because it kind of saved this video we're doing right now.
Yes, it actually gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, because otherwise I was like, what were we going to talk about? The fact that, like, they're just going to chill in this mental asylum the whole time? Like, it's basically just Cult of Chucky, except without the quirky personality of Chucky.
It's funny, it's like you said, like, throughout the movie, you were just like, is this it? Are they just going to, like...
I was saying that a lot. I was like, this is all we're fucking doing with this? Like, do something! This movie is an hour and 27 minutes, and it is padded as fuck. This is something that easily could be edited down to an hour-long episode of a TV show with commercials. You could easily get this hour and 27 minute long movie down to a lean 50 minutes. 45 if you really tried.
Oh, and didn't we mention that, like, the opening credits was like 10 minutes
The
long?
opening credits go until the 10-minute mark of this thing. So a ninth of this film is the opening credits. Think about that.
It's like, it's just padding.
It's so padded.
So padded.
Oh my goodness. It's like padded like the walls of this asylum.
And the thing is, like, you expect, like, this crazy fucked up road trip with these guys, but they don't go anywhere.
You're right. Oh, I didn't even think about that. But man, you are right. Like, they get kidnapped by these guys, which that's something I gotta say. You got Bud there, who is an indestructible tank, and then you got Jackson, who looks like he could basically run a triathlon right after getting out of this thing. The nurse, she seems like average. She seems like, again, typical Hollywood actress of where she's like way too like thin and pretty. Like, not saying you can't be thin and pretty or anything like that. I'm just saying it's like
very Hollywood pretty.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Not everyone in this film has to be that attractive. But they're basically being held up because crazy ass Joker and Harley, both of whom look like they would be knocked over by a gust of wind, are holding them up with a knife. And not like a big long, like, this is a knife. Not like that. I mean like a scalpel they stole from there. And I was like, okay. We talked about this way back when we talked about Friday the 13th Part 1. One of my biggest problems with horror films is when, listen, I'm a coward and proud of it. Straight up. Fight or flight, I will flight every single time. But if you are being held up with a scalpel, like, yeah, now get in there. Don't get me wrong, someone jumps out at me in a dark alley and says, give me your wallet, and he's got a scalpel. Give him the wallet, not worth anything, just give him the fucking wallet and don't ask anything. But if someone's like, I'm going to kidnap you, make her get undressed, and I'm taking you both down to Mexico, and we're gonna do some weird fucked up shit, get in the car, and all he's holding is a scalpel, one step forward with the left leg, BAM! Game over. I don't think people in horror films realize how long the reach of your leg is and how much damage it does to the human chest. Charlie Murphy, that motherfucker, right in the chest. Game over. You're free to go. Grab the keys out of their pocket, throw them behind the car, and just drive off. The cops will be there in a moment to pick them up.
Like, I felt like Jackson and Buddy went with them because they felt like they had nowhere else to go. Like, I don't think they realized that their mom was trying to break them out.
I can understand that, but they clearly did not want to go with
Yeah,
the psycho.
obviously. Who would?
That's the other. But it's like, dude, if you got nowhere else to go, they have the keys to the car they just stole. Again, left foot forward, plant it down, BAM! They go down, grab the keys out, they're not getting back up. That stuff will take you down with one shot. Grab the keys, get in the car, drive off.
It's like, I was thinking, oh, maybe they want to be good people. Then I realized Buddy killed
murdering people.
Buddy murdered like the doctors that were like electrocuting him or something like that. So yeah, they're not really all that good. That's the thing. It's like,
well, in all fairness, it's like, yeah, Buddy was being electric shocked there.
Yeah, I mean,
I can understand it.
Yeah, it was like the 60s, the 70s. Like that's the kind of shit they did in those.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, it's like that's the thing about this movie. It's like they want you to like sympathize with the.
This movie wants you to like the worst fucking people.
Exactly.
And it can go fuck itself for that.
It's like, oh, society turned them into monsters. It's
No.
like, nope.
Nobody made him kill. Yeah. I was about to say, nobody made them murder those people. It's like, no, wait, their parents did. Why am I on the parents' side in this one? Why are you asking me to like those motherfuckers? No! Yeah, so they are now being held hostage by these two psychos with a scalpel. And then they go and they stop at a diner and they're just acting, those two psychos are just acting like total pieces of shit. And not like threatening pieces of shit. Like really poorly written, like what someone who doesn't have fucking balls to write good edgy dialogue thinks
like
edgy
Jay
dialogue
Leno
is.
Joker, kind of.
Yeah, it's Jared Leto Joker.
Jared Leto, that's what I meant, yeah.
Jay Leno Joker. I'm just gonna go on the streets of Gotham and just gonna do some Joker walking here. Just, yeah, you know.
Although he would have made a way better Joker.
Fucking Will Smith in that film would have made a better Joker. The guy who played Killer Croc would have made a better Joker. In the Killer Croc makeup. Fuck, who played Amanda Waller in that film? She made a better Joker in that film than him. Jesus! Sorry, different film. Previous last year's Gauntlet garbage. But yeah, he is Jared Leto's Joker. He's totally that. And it is so just like, is this supposed to be intimidating? You're just being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to hear a word out of your mouth. Everything is horrible that you're saying. And not in the, oh, he's such a bad man kind of way. It's like, oh my God, are you 12? shut up. Yeah, it's that. And they get to this diner, and then in the diner, they steal a cop's gun. Like, now you can't do anything.
Yeah.
When they have the gun, the plant your foot forward and kick them in the chest plan don't work. Now you actually are hostages to these people. And you bring up a great point, which is that, okay, after that point, it should have been a crazy-ass road trip of them just going around, just at the mercy of these psychos, but, like, maybe, like, Bud starts to like it, and he starts going down, like, the dark path of being, like, Leatherface and all that stuff. Like, okay, let's see what happens here. No, they go to a trailer out in the middle of the woods, don't know why it's there, and they go in, there's a dead body inside. Now they're just in this trailer for a little bit, not doing anything, just... They're in this trailer.
Except
that then there's a scene. As I said, this film is what someone who just doesn't know what good edgy like stuff is thinks edgy stuff is. Like, they think it's just throw gross shit at the screen.
Yeah.
They find a dead body in there, and the two psychos just have a threesome with this corpse. And it's fucking gross. It's not creepy. It's not creative. It's not doing anything interesting. It's not disturbing. It's just fucking gross. There's no point to it other than to be gross. That's not disturbing. It's just gross. That's it.
It's like, you'd think the smell of the corpse would have been a huge situation, like...
They do kind of, like, react to it when they first get in there, but then they kind of get used to it real quick.
It's like, oh, it smells like a barn.
Oh,
it's like, no, dead corpses do not smell like barns, unless, of course, you've been killing people in barns.
I've never smelled a dead body, but I've smelled a barn. I know. I don't think it's the same.
No.
So, yeah, then after that, like, there's, like, 3 times they try and escape, and it's like, no, you get back in here. No, you get back in here. No, you get... It's like, this movie doesn't know what the fuck to do with these people.
Nope.
Really doesn't.
No.
And then one night, Bud just kills the Jared Leto Joker guy. He just murders him.
Like, I feel like that was, like, his breaking point. Like, apparently he told him, like, oh, you were supposed to stay on watch. You were so useless. And apparently that was what ticked him off.
Yeah, that's
what drove him to the edge.
Bud never says anything in this whole movie.
No, he doesn't.
So yeah, then Bud kills him. I was like, okay.
Why didn't you do that earlier?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like, Bud, whose side is Bud on in this? Because if Bud is their tank, because, like, the crazy psycho is bossing Bud around and telling him, you do this, you do that, and Bud does it. And I was like, okay, if he is that concerned about Bud, couldn't Jackson just go up to his brother, who he's been protecting for, like, a decade in this asylum, go up to him and just tell him, Bud, smash. Like, just tell him that. Like, just go up to him and tell him, break their fucking faces. They have a scalpel. It's gonna hurt you, Bud. I understand. It's gonna, like, maybe cut you on the wrist a little bit, but we're gonna...
Bud survived a bullet, all right? A bullet to the gut.
There's a moment in this film in which he gets shot in the gut and he is fine, like, that night. And I was like, alright, do you just not know what your brother is capable of doing? It's like, dude, just go up to him when he's got a scalpel and go, smash his head like it's a fucking coconut, okay?
It's like I said, I feel like the people who made this movie wanted the audience to sympathize with, like, Bud and Jackson, which is like, oh, don't hurt the crazy people, because then you'll be just as bad as they are.
But there comes a moment in which that's definitely what they're going for. They're trying to make you think, okay, Jackson's one, he didn't want to cut up that guy with a chainsaw. His family was pushing him down that path, and now he's been in this asylum, and now he's at the mercy of these 2 crazy people. Oh my goodness, but he's trying to look after his brother. He's trying to be a good person. I was like, okay, I'll give you that, because we saw that he was, like, at the mercy of, he didn't want to do what his family was doing. I understand that. I get that. But then after the crazy guy dies, after Jared Leto Joker dies, the next day the cops find this place, and they kill Harley Quinn, crazy ass Harley Quinn, Rob Zombie's Harley Quinn. But as they're killing, as the cops are, like, beating her up and, like, got her on the ground and, like, they're dragging her around, they're not gonna kill her yet. They are gonna just take her back to the asylum, but they do rough her up a whole lot. But here's the thing: good I hate saying that, but like she is such a horrible monster. And I don't just mean because she's an annoying character. No, she's fucking murdering people left and right. Yeah.
She's murderous. She's like, she stuffed a rat down one of like someone else's throat.
Early in this film we see her stuffing a rat in someone's mouth.
Yeah.
She murders people. She is just a fucking like every word out of her mouth is just like stuff that Hot Topic wouldn't even put on their t-shirts. It's so like dumb. And yeah, she just wants to fuck over everyone. She just wants to kill and murder and rape everyone. I'm like, then have the cops slap the shit out of her and then put cuffs on her and throw her in jail forever. Like, no, there's nothing sympathetic about her.
Nope.
And when the cops show up, they try to make you go, oh, but they're the real monsters. Like, listen, man, you don't have to convince me to look at cops as being like suspicious characters, all right? I mean, go back and look at our review for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. You don't have to convince me of that shit. Not saying all cops are bad. Not at all. Not at all. But you don't have to like come in here and like go, okay, well, we're gonna do the twist on the cops and that they're the bad guys. But in this situation, no, fuck that. I am on the cop side no matter what they do to this crazy ass bitch. I hate using that word, but it's like, no, she is.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
It's like they try to like give you a reason why the cops are bad. It's like, oh, that like no, it's like no, like the sheriff or the chief, like his daughter was the one that got killed.
Yeah.
So he was the one who was like hell bent on like getting these kids back.
They try to make him seem like the monster.
Yeah, but he has a reason for being pissed off.
It's
You
like,
killed his fucking daughter.
Yeah, like after he like then he eventually ends up killing Rob Zombie's Harley Quinn, and Jackson, Bud, and the nurse are off in the distance. They're watching this like behind the rock. It's like, and the nurse is like, we can go to them for help. And it's like, no, that's a bad cop. He puts kids like us in that mental institution. He's horrible. It's like, okay, that's a terrible thing if this is like somewhere like any problematic kid he has, he just throws in the institution. Yes, terrible thing. Your parents murdered his daughter and you helped. It's like shake and bake, motherfucker, except for cannibals. You helped with that, and Bud was all for it. But but your parents murdered his daughter and dozens of other people. Dude, I know you're trying to say, yeah, he's bad because he throws kids into a mental institution. Like, yes, that is a bad thing. Your entire family is the worst thing possible, okay? I'm sorry for going lesser of two evils on you with this one. Way lesser of two evils on this one. But they have to hide from the cops by gutting out a dead cow, which is covered in maggots, and they crawl underneath it and hide it so that the cops' dogs can't smell them. And again, it's not clever. It's not disturbing. It's nothing creative to it. It's just gross.
Yeah.
It's just what somebody who can't tell the difference between disturbing and gross thinks disturbing is.
So why is there like a random dead cow out there?
There's just a random dead cow, and also, how the fuck did you cut open the cow and de-gut it and then hide the guts quickly enough that all 3 of you, including Bud, who is the size of 2 of you, fit underneath this thing?
I mean, I know cows are big, but there's
stuff inside of them.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm not saying that a cow couldn't hide all 4 of you, although, all 3 of you, although that's a stretch. That is a real, like, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that this is a huge cow.
Like a huge, like, an oxen almost.
Yeah. And there was probably a hole underneath and you all just stood under it. But there was stuff in the cow you had to pull the fuck out and then hide so that when the cops came over, they didn't go, why the fuck is the inside of this cow on the outside, and why is there still stuff inside the cow? So then we just have them crawl out. They spend the rest of the film drenched in blood. And then as they're approaching a bridge, they see a cop car drive past, and then the nurse goes, hey, help, help. And I was like, didn't he just like, you just tried to go, he just told you don't go to that cop, and he said don't go to that cop because that cop is bad, he puts people like us in jail. And it's like, well then tell them, well I guess this is where our paths split. I guess this is where we part ways. You go that way because he's not putting me in the mental asylum. I worked at the mental asylum. They take me back to the mental asylum. My boss will go, oh okay, hey, it's you. Or maybe not the boss because the boss dies in here. But someone will go, yeah, we know who you are. You work here. Officer, she was clearly kidnapped by these crazy people. I mean, I can understand if she's like, okay, well, I understand you got a bum rap and I'm not going to let him get you, but I got to get the fuck out of here now.
Just say, I managed to get away from, like, the people who kidnapped me. I just want to go back and everything. So.
Yeah, and it's like, if you wanted to make the cop seem like a villain in this, have her go, okay, well, this is where we part ways. And he's like, okay, I understand, but just don't tell him. It's like, don't worry, I won't tell you. And then she runs up, hey, pulls out the gun and shoots her in the distance. Then we could look at the cop like, okay, he's a villain. Yeah, I get it. Okay, I get it. But no, didn't do that. Nope. Instead, she goes now right up to this other cop. And then when Bud gets up there first, and the cop gets out and sees Bud drenched in blood and like starts like pointing the gun at him, and then he blows Bud's brains out. This is when we have to discuss one of the biggest problems with this film. This is the origin of Leatherface, and it's very obvious they are trying to set you up to think that Bud was Leatherface. He's got the mental problems.
He's got the size.
He's got the size. He's a huge dude. We see he can kill people with his bare hands. He's been murdering people. Jackson hasn't been murdering people. It's like they're clearly trying to set up that Bud is Leatherface. Except this has not been Bud's story. Bud is an afterthought in this film. Bud goes in for electric shock, don't see him for a long period of time until it decides to get back to the electric shock scene when he has to break out and murder those guys. Bud, they go to the diner. What does Bud do? Stand outside and watch guard. The rest of the scene's inside without Bud. Bud, you're gonna stand and watch guard in this trailer. Bud walks outside, Bud is gone until they decide to use him again after they go outside of the trailer. Bud is hardly in this fucking movie. So you spend a good chunk of this film going, this is the origin of Leatherface? He's an afterthought in his own film. This is stupid. Why are you not focusing on him? And then the twist is, Bud dies, and oh my goodness, it wasn't Bud that was Leatherface. It was Jackson. This creates a whole new problem.
It's like, so how did Jackson get from like the skinny guy to like this gigantic behemoth?
So Jackson, as they're driving away from the cops, another cop comes up and starts shooting at their cop car. Here's the thing, that happens after they are long away from where they stole the cop car and killed the cop. So they are far away from this. Then this cop car comes up and just starts firing on them, and I was like, unless the cop you killed had a really damn good walkie-talkie for 1955 that could go miles and miles away, and after you killed him, he then realized, I still have one last breath of strength. This is this officer in this car. By the way, it's been stolen. Open fire on them. Which he didn't. He died instantly. Yep. He's definitely dead. Why the fuck does this new cop think that this cop car is stolen? There's no way for them to think that this cop car is stolen. They just come up on a cop car and start randomly firing on it. It makes no goddamn sense. But they fire on the car and they shoot across Jackson's mouth. And you see like this half of his lip is now gone.
Yeah, like his entire cheek has been like ripped out.
Yeah, his cheek, that's what I should say, not lip, but the entire cheek. So it's like, okay, well that's why Leatherface can't talk correctly, because that happens. But then how does Jackson go from having average level intelligence to being really dumb and like definitely like mentally handicapped, which is what Leatherface was. And also after he reunites with his family, which is what happens like right after this, they end up going back to their farm and reuniting with the family. Did they just spend the rest of their life feeding him Wheaties? Like, what happened to give him the protein that he needs to get that size on him? Like, did they just go, well, we've been planning on feeding Bud all this time anyways. We're not going to learn to cook for one less person. You're going to have to eat Bud share now. Also, we're going to make you wear these platform shoes so you can grow an entire foot.
It's like,
none of this makes goddamn sense.
We're just going to put some extra testosterone in this human flesh for you to eat.
We're going to throw you into the pig pen and make you have to like...
We're just going to inject you with steroids.
Yeah. There is no fucking way that someone who has already gone through puberty and is already the max height and size he's gonna be can grow an extra foot and gain 200 extra pounds. 200 extra pounds, fine. The extra foot, not fucking happening. So yeah, and also, how did he get dumber? How did that happen?
Like, I don't know, I felt like when, Bud got killed, that was like him snapping and just going like completely insane.
Because yeah, he gets back to the farm and then it's like, okay.
And like when he goes back to the farm, his mom says, "This is why you can't trust outsiders, they lie to you." And it's like, did he really need to go outside or like...
That is the biggest problem of all this.
Exactly.
Well, no, there's many biggest problems.
Yeah, but like the biggest problem is like none of this was necessary.
None of it.
Like he already...
because he was already being raised by a family of crazed cannibals. Mm-hmm. And then he has to go somewhere, and then he pairs up with another psychopath. And there came a point in which I went, wait a minute. What happened to this crazed cannibal family? Why did he have to go to this? Like, I seriously thought there was going to come a moment in which he would like start liking these new psychos, and then they would go, you know what? I miss my family. We're all family now. We're gonna find a house, and we're gonna just bunker down. We're gonna be a new family right now. And I was like, but if that happens, then it's stupid that he already had a crazed cannibal family and then had to leave to find a new crazed cannibal family. Mm-hmm. But no, instead it's just a big old loop around to get him back to the crazed cannibal family. So there was no point in leaving in the first place. And I get that he needed to have Bud die so that he could then be convinced, fuck outsiders, and like, and because this all comes back to him like now grabbing the chainsaw and being like, yeah, all right, now I'm ready to use it. Mm-hmm. And because Bud died, and it's like, Bud could have died and you could have stayed on the fucking farm, you idiots. Like, none of this was necessary. This is a padded, overblown, only like not even 90-minute long film that no one was asking for, and it serves no purpose at all, except to make you go, okay, well, so I guess Leatherface used to be way smaller and be able to think rationally. All right, and it's supposed to make you like sympathetic. That's like, no, he went down a dark path here at the end. It was like, his fucking family was crazed cannibals from the get-go. He was on the dark path. You tried to get him off of it, but even still, your idea of getting him off of it was to pair him up with crazed psychos. None of this is fucking necessary at all.
And like, apparently the his mask was like he ends up like killing the nurse eventually.
Like there comes a moment when she's like, no, don't be like them. You can be better. This is after he kills a cop, which by the way, the cop was like trying to torture him at one point, and his crazed family came to rescue him. And again, I was just like, you really want me to look at the cop like he's a villain? You really do? Fuck that shit. This family's been there's a family of cannibalistic serial killers. They've been murdering people non-stop. Mm-hmm. And now your son, the only one who wasn't a murderer, just decided, I'm going down their path. I'm on their side now. Well, too bad, motherfucker. Guess what? You decide you want to be a crazed serial killer cannibal? I don't like you then. I'm on this, and the cop is trying to get back at them and kill them because they murdered his daughter. And I don't mean like, oh, it was a hit and run. Oh my goodness, I didn't mean, I just one night is like, I had a gun and it just fell.
They planned it out.
They planned out a murder of her so they could eat her. There is nothing sympathetic about this family, and they try to make you root for them against the cop who has, listen, I'm not on the side of vigilante justice in any way, but if someone plans out the murder of your daughter so that they can eat her, I'm kind of okay with you getting revenge. That's all I'm gonna say. In movie world, again,
yes.
in the real world, I'm always on the side of bring them to justice, take them to jail. But in movie world, nah, I'm okay with you like whipping out some one-liners and doing some action hero poses as you take out these crazed cannibals. They did horrible, raw shit. But at the end of this, after he takes them out, she's like, no, I know you're better than this. Don't be that person. Don't be them. Don't be like your mother. And then he just goes, and
he's like, how dare you insult my mama?
It's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, now you feel, now you're on your mom's side, even though, like, in the beginning, you didn't want to kill anyone like she wanted you to,
yeah.
like.
And yeah, so he chops her head off, and then this thing ends with him like in the basement of their house, and he's sewing together the mask, the famous mask, and he puts it on, and he puts lipstick on, and because yeah, Leatherface always had like makeup on, and I was like, I have no idea why you fucking did that. At all. I have no understanding of why you do this. And also, whose flesh is used as the mask? I don't understand this, because like, the nurse would make sense because she was there, but he has zero reason for wanting the nurse's face to be his face.
Well, he obviously had a crush. They were obviously in love. Like they ended up like
crush, but like that's enough to make you want her face to be your face.
It's like if I can't have her, then I'll just wear her face or something like that.
Yes, and that would also explain the makeup because like, well, it's a girl, so I'm gonna be a pretty girl now.
Yeah.
But it makes so much more sense for that to be Bud's face, because he liked Bud and tried to protect Bud, and now he's like, well, now Bud and I are together forever. But Bud died miles away.
Also, his head was blown off.
Well, in the back, so it's like, well, no, from the side.
Yeah, so it's not like...
So it's like, but then, so did you drive all the way back out there that night before anyone found Bud's body, which it was on a road, someone would have found Bud's body, and then you got Bud's body and brought it back for this? Because there's no way that could have happened. But it makes so much more sense for that to be Bud's face than the nurse's face. But then why are you putting makeup on Bud's face? None of this makes fucking sense. This is the definition of a film that serves no purpose in existing, and they had no ideas behind it. This feels like when Fox needs to make a Fantastic Four movie so they can hold on to the rights for Fantastic Four. I don't know how the rights on Leatherface works, but it does feel like someone was like, oh god, we forgot we needed to make one, like now. What hasn't been done with them? A prequel. Didn't they already make, shut the fuck up, we're writing here already. We're doing a script. This script is only 20 pages long. We can pad this shit out. Jesus. It's so padded and serves zero purpose to the story and makes no sense. This is another, like, as I said, this might be the worst origin to a villain I've ever seen. Serves no goddamn purpose, and it's, I'm not gonna say arrogant. It's not arrogant. But it has no idea what it's doing because it thinks it's making the family sympathetic and the cop the villain. And man, it cannot be more the other way around. It's like, dude, again, I know cop seeking out vigilante justice, not something to applaud at all. But fuck this cannibalistic serial killer family. I don't like them in any way. They're horrible monsters. Someone stop them. Someone fucking stop them. Yeah, I got nothing else to say about this one. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I will be shocked if this isn't in the bottom 10 of the year. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Someone just stop the Leatherface franchise. That's all I'm going to say because, listen, I understand people want more Jason. I get that. I understand people want more Freddy Krueger. But as you kind of pointed out at the beginning, people love Leatherface. No one, even the people who love Leatherface, want more Leatherface. No one is like, yeah, keep bringing him back. You fucked this so many times. No one wants Leatherface. No one cares about Leatherface anymore. You destroyed this entire franchise. Let it die. Stop it. So yeah, that's my final word on this one. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I just sprayed spit like that dinosaur in Jurassic Park everywhere on that one. That happens when I get really passionate about these films.
Yeah, it's like...
So yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Come back for more of the Gauntlet of Garbage. Bye.
Bye.